Hi, everyone. Michael Sandler here, your host on Inspire Nation with today's Ask Michael Anything, along with and you are
the wife.
the wife, along with the wife, and
The
behind
tired,
us,
exhausted wife.
the tired, exhausted, not so barefoot but pregnant wife.
And this is Lumi.
This is Lumi.
Lumi.
And Lumi is such a sweetheart. He is a rescued feral. Do we even need? He doesn't need that story anymore. He is proud like a lion. He is Lumi the lion now. You are. Now we have the lug nut.
Love bug is not a lug nut.
No, love bug is making noises in the background. So before we get started, we have a lot to share with you here this evening, and we've got to do it on the early side because Jessica is in first trimester exhaustion, and I'm glowing proud fatherhood. I am. What was I going to say? Survey. The survey's going awesome. Please come on over. Come on over. If you haven't done so, come on over to inspirenationshow.com and take the survey. We are getting such great information about what you want, what you don't want, how you want to ingest it, how we can help you. That please come on over to inspirenationshow.com and take the survey. Take you 2 or 3 minutes, but it will help us make a better show for you. So with that said, do you mind if I go back in the story just a little bit?
Sure. Because
people haven't heard probably. Okay, going back in the story. If we go back 4 months ago, you were very pregnant, and you went and visited your family for your birthday-ish, approximately, and you came back maybe a little bit light on the pregnancy side of things.
Well, yeah, something started to happen while I was in New Jersey. And then when I got back, something just felt off. And I started getting really nervous and anxious. And I was asking you to tell me everything was going to be okay.
And I'm saying everything's going to be okay because I know that getting her nervous would not be the answer. Now, at first, I did try to get us into somebody right away, but then it seemed like maybe things were okay. And then there was a last-minute mad dash, not that we could have done anything about it, to the hospital anyway.
Mm-hmm. And so we had a miscarriage.
We did. And
that was mid-November.
And it's not that. So a lot of people say, don't share about your pregnancy. Don't share in the first trimester. Mom, who's probably never listening to this, was like, no, don't do it.
Oh, my parents too, at least my dad.
So, and my mom certainly comes from the camp of not only do you not want to say because it's too early, but if you say about it, you'll be jinxed and you might lose the baby. Uh-huh. And that's like the opposite of law of attraction. Law of attraction being what you think about, you bring about. What you focus on is what you draw into your life. So when you're pregnant, I believe you focus on that pregnancy. You share it with the world. You own it.
Yeah, and every time we tell somebody, they say like, "Oh, we'll keep praying for you," or it's just it's really wonderful to have that support and have everybody manifesting on our behalf as well.
Well, it's true. So I don't want to rail on it too much, but the system. In the Western society, everything is set up where you keep it in the down low for the first trimester. Women work their butts off. In fact, they work more at work because they're afraid they're going to be perceived as, what's up with Jessica? Why isn't she working hard? Is something going on? And so women hide it. When they're exhausted, they need more rest. And they could use all the support in the world. And I think that's a perpetuating cycle along with a cycle of shame, because I think these statistics are wildly off.
Well, I understand why women who work 9-to-5 jobs hide it, because they don't want to lose their jobs.
Yeah, and that's a whole challenge in of itself.
So we're not criticizing people for hiding it.
Oh no! It's a societal challenge that gets to be addressed. No. There's no Thank you for sharing that. There's no judgment at all if that's your choice, and it gets to be, of course, your choice. Overall, though, if we become a society that, well, isn't firing women for getting pregnant, for instance, and instead supports and loves up women, I think that miscarriage rate may go down quite a bit. And it's really, really high. We're learning almost everybody who we meet either has had a miscarriage or somebody next to them has a miscarriage, or their mom had a miscarriage before they had them. And I think that actually helps. And that gets into the positivity topic tonight. And I don't want to go there quite yet. But it's not that so much that misery loves company, but knowing that you can still conceive afterwards and so many other people have done it can be very helpful.
Yeah, it is very comforting, actually. I think every time you would tell somebody, or I would tell someone, and they said, oh yeah, we had a miscarriage too, or my wife had a miscarriage, or we had 2 miscarriages before our baby. Now we have 4 kids or whatever. You know, I wasn't happy that they had miscarriages, but I was happy that they went on to have happy, healthy children.
Absolutely. So speaking about having healthy, happy children, it was a miracle of miracles that you got to go with our dear friend, Carla Solberg, down to Mexico, to Cancun, just 2 weeks after the miscarriage.
Yeah, and I was actually thinking of canceling that trip when I was still pregnant.
Where'd you go? Why was it beneficial?
Well, there was a lot of meditation. It was all about...
So it was a Dr. Joe retreat.
Yeah, raising your vibration. And a lot of people go there for healing. A lot of sick people, actually. I think there were like over 900 participants, and over 500 had applied for like group coherence healing.
Wow.
So yeah, I had no idea that many people went for the purpose of healing. And I didn't feel that there was anything wrong with my body, or that I was... To
be healed?
Yeah, I mean... but it is traumatic for the body when it goes through a miscarriage. So I thought of it as like a tune-up for the body, and a major tune-up for the heart and soul. So
I've got to ask then, and that will lead into the positivity stuff. What did you do for your mindset or your heart set to get you in a great place? I mean, the doctor said in the old school days, you waited years, then it was 6 months, then it was 3 months. And then our doc said, as she's explaining this to us, she said, heck, as soon as you feel ready, the statistics now show that the earlier, the better.
Yeah, if you actually get, you have a higher rate of getting pregnant within the first 3 months of trying. So what was the question?
Well, the question is, we didn't want to try again until you felt ready. What were the things that you were able to do for yourself to get yourself back?
I actually felt ready right away, but I was in Cancun when I was ovulating, so there's no chance of getting pregnant.
Michael, get your butt down here. Okay.
And I think the reason why I felt ready was that I just knew that the baby spirit, first of all, within the first trimester, we've heard a lot of people say that the baby is in the body and out, in and out. The baby isn't in the womb. The baby spirit isn't in the womb all the time during the first trimester.
Right. They're doing a lot of circling up above.
So knowing that helped. Also feeling like the baby spirit would be coming back also helped. So my grieving process was different from others.
Were there things that you did, and that it's almost reframing is too weak of a term, but you were looking at it, and we're talking about staying positive.
Yeah. So, okay, the first pregnancy caught us off guard. Like, we were trying to get pregnant, but we didn't think it would happen right away. We basically got pregnant the first month we tried.
Yeah.
And then I had no idea. I hadn't done any research or whatever, and I had no idea the first trimester would be so exhausting. At least for me. I guess not for everyone. Everyone's different. And I was like, oh my God, I can't get any work done. And then I found out, second trimester, you get a boost of energy, which is awesome. And then the third trimester.
I'm laughing because we didn't quite make it till the end of the first trimester, so you didn't quite get the boost.
Right. And then third trimester, you start getting exhausted again.
Yeah.
Maybe not, but for most people, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, okay, maybe this is an opportunity for us to get all our systems in place and get help on board so that when it's not gonna.
I wanted to go like this, and I didn't think you'd want me to do that on air. Systems on board.
Yeah, and help on board, because the first time around I was like, how I can't keep up with the work.
Yeah. And
then once the baby's here, how am I going to keep up with work?
Yeah.
And so we had this. So how many months was it now?
4. I can't believe it's 4.
2.
Could it really be 4? I thought the due date changed by 4. June 20th to July 20th.
We miscarried in the middle of November, and then we had December and January.
Yeah.
So we had like 2.5 months to get our.
So we're in that 3-month window then.
Yeah.
Okay, because you got to tack that onto the pregnancy date. Because I was looking at it as the due date is almost identically 4 months later, but it's not 4 months between pregnancies. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, my point is that we had this time, like 2.5 months, to really get our ducks in a row, and we did. We got a lot of help on board, and we've got a little team now. And
I was watching you race over this last month. Like, I'm awake. I'm not exhausted. Do you want to go skiing, Jessica? Do you want to go anywhere?
I'm like, I got to take advantage of full energy.
So, and you've cranked up. So I want to talk about some of the things you've done, because it'll be helpful for other people. You came back from the Dr. Joe event. You were meditating, doing heart coherence. I don't know if it's more like 20 or 30 minutes. Your computer is going to sleep, and then it'd be a big reboot. You were maybe meditating 20 or 30 minutes a day beforehand, and then afterward you came back from Dr. Joe, and you're doing like an hour and a half a day, then sometimes 3 hours a day. You were really investing in your well-being, in positivity, and in baby's well-being as well. Yeah.
So it's a minimum of an hour and a half a day, and then if I'm having a bad day, if you're having a rough day, actually, if he's having a bad day, I meditate more in order for me to cope.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's true, though, isn't it?
It is. Well, it is true.
And don't you like it when I meditate? Not because I'm like, out of your, well, maybe because I'm out of your room. Or
I just know that you're investing in yourself. And that is the coolest thing to see, and investing in baby too, because I know anything you do for you goes to baby. But that's been really excellent, really positive to see, is you taking that additional time. And what's really cool to me, as somebody who has known you as a sleeper, somebody who likes to sleep a lot, whose body needs it. And for anybody hearing that noise in the background, that's a cat toy. Where I think the love bug is batting the
It's one
ball.
Of those round ones. There's a ball on the outside in the track, and they swat the ball around.
So these are free bonus sound effects. You are always known as, or at least in recent years, since molding in Maui, needing a lot of extra sleep. And what's been fascinating to watch is, I don't know if it'll continue, but during this time, this in-betweener time,
with more meditation, I needed less sleep.
Bingo.
Yes. But that might be thrown out the window now because I am exhausted.
Which means I'll be sleeping later.
But maybe I would be even more exhausted if I hadn't meditated this morning.
That's my guess. Mm-hmm. That would be my guess. So we got meditation on board for you. You had a good diet during pregnancy, but you said, Michael, don't back off on the smoothies and stuff. You went for what several guests recently called high energy foods. Mm-hmm. To help you be in that really positive, healthy place as well.
Yeah. So that's the other benefit, that, having the miscarriage and then these extra 2.5 months meant that I had more months with prenatal vitamins, more months with our amazing smoothies that you make every morning.
Wow.
And
They've gotten better?
I'm not getting nauseous.
It's a low bar, but I'll take it. Not that they're good, not that they taste great, but they don't make you throw up.
Well, I meant amazing as in they're amazingly nutritious.
Okay, please continue.
And they taste pretty good for what's in it. Yeah. Okay. I don't remember what I was saying.
About all the things you were doing to put on board during this time.
What else? I think I was encouraging you to heal some childhood.
Oh, you were definitely challenging me. And I've just been getting my childhood self whacked good lately. And it's you have challenged me, universe has challenged me, shopping has challenged me. So many things have challenged me. That has been great because I would like to ferret all of this stuff out. Obviously, I'd like to ferret out before we conceived, but certainly the healing is a lifetime's worth of work, and I want to continue on that. And I've been doing a lot of work, and I started back into my emotion code work this morning, and we'll be doing emotion code work on baby as well. And
yeah. And Dr. Bradley Nelson talks about that, right? The creator of emotion code. And we can even heal some of baby's past life heart walls or emotional blocks.
Yeah. So that's really cool. So the challenges that have come up, I was going to say beneficial, but I'm going back to last month's period and how you were feeling. And I was worried for you at that point.
Why were you worried?
Because I didn't want you really sinking down for a while because baby hadn't come back on board just yet. It looked like baby was coming on board, but the system wasn't set yet.
Right.
So were there any things that you did to bring yourself back around, to reframe anything at that point? Because basically you felt you were pregnant. The body was acting as if you were pregnant. All sorts of changes were taking place. And then...
I don't know that I did anything to reset myself at that point, but I took mental notes on how I wanted to do things differently the next month.
Yeah. So that's huge.
Yeah, which was just some of it was just taking control of my time, not letting outside circumstances or other people dictate how I spent my time.
Yeah.
Because I ended up being really stressed out during that period. But also, our friend passed away around that time, like the week before my period in January. And
that was Carla Solberg, who was a regular participant in the chat room.
Yeah, and who I went to Mexico with. So I was very sad, and I thought, well, maybe that's why the baby hasn't come through right now, because whatever your emotions are, the days leading up to conception, even the months leading up to conception, affect the baby. It's like the first cast.
But I want to be careful here, because we have a habit of then picking on ourselves. So you got pregnant this month, and you're saying the months leading up to, and I know you're not picking on yourself going, oh, I could have done even better. You do the best with what you've got. But I want to explain that to people. You can only change here moving forward. You never worry about the past. The biggest word I'm trying to get rid of in my vocabulary right now is shoulda, because shoulda is a low vibration word that just pulls you down. So there's nothing you shoulda have done, if you know what I'm saying. And I'm talking more general for others as well.
And I believe through meditation and some of the other emotional work that we do, we can sort of erase the past, so to speak, or rewrite it.
What if we can go a step beyond that? So I had on Tal Ben-Jahar, a happiness expert, talking about shortcuts to happiness, or what I've called on iTunes happiness hacks. And he was talking about how there are all these studies that show that childhood challenges, difficulties, almost traumas, not significant traumas, but situations that are very difficult for a child can actually make that child much stronger. So the fact that baby Hana has had some challenges on this path so far, as long as she's loved, she's supported, she's given everything that she needs, and we do the work, could actually even benefit from any of these challenges
I've
coming in.
also thought of that too, is that they're just, you know, how I react to my lows, like what I do to bring myself up from a low energy state or whatever is a learning opportunity for the baby.
Yeah. So, and that's how I'm viewing this as well, where I don't know why, where I've had so many weird circumstances in the last month or two, is all, I like to describe it as we're riding a sine wave, where we go up, we come down, we go up, we come down. But on those downs, you don't have to label it as, oh, this is a horrible point. This is the learning experience. This is where all the great growth can take place. And you really can say this is a positive growth experience. And I would say, though I don't wish it on anybody, correct me if you think I'm wrong, this experience has been a positive. I feel much closer to you now. And I'm more woohooey for a baby try number 2-y.
That's true. During the miscarriage, you really stepped up to the plate.
So anything else you want to add or share on the story or about how you broke the news, or anything that you want to share before we go into just a little bit on how to stay positive? Because we've covered a lot of cool stuff here.
Yeah. So I get up somewhere between 3:30 and 4:30 every morning. Mm-hmm. A little flexible. It's when I naturally wake up. Actually, now it's when I naturally want to pee. And oh yeah, last week I asked you on air on YouTube Live.
Yeah.
Do you think we're pregnant?
Yes.
And the reason I asked is I had a pretty good hunch that I was pregnant.
I want to correct my answer that I said last week.
I was feeling a lot of stuff going on. Yeah.
So I muscle tested, yes. Mm-hmm. But I didn't want to. What I said last week gets to be revised. And what I said is, if I say it's yes and it's not a yes, it breaks your heart. And if I say it's no, then no matter what, I've broken your heart. And I don't want to break your heart. That's not a very positive law of attraction way of stating things. And I came off of that show going, that's not what I would have been good to say. Notice I didn't use the word shoulda. My guess was yes, but I'm going to stick to ambiguity. I'm not going to say I was right, although right now I'm wondering about this whole twins thing. But it would have been more loving and supportive to have said, I believe we may be pregnant too. Yay, yay, yay. And then if it worked out, great. And if it didn't work out, you'd still bounce back from it.
Well, I already believe that we were pregnant.
Yeah. Well, you had started saying, talk to the belly, talk to the belly. And I'm going, hello, low, low, hi, hi,
I'm like, why
hi.
are you echoing?
And I said, because I want her to have fun, fun, fun. But also there's the double factor of I keep having double dreams and I don't know what it means. One has had twins in it. I don't know. All these dreams seem to, I can't recall last night being double dreams, but for the last week having two somethings, two cars, two people, two this, two that, two choices. I don't know if it means anything.
I haven't had any dreams about twins.
I think you would know better than me.
I think so.
I would think so.
I don't know. I mean, I do know that this one is here with a lot more pow because I feel a lot more movement going on, mm-hmm. and a lot more is just happening early on in the pregnancy compared to last time.
What if it's not Hana this time and it's Bam Bam first?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been calling the baby Hana just in case it's a boy because I haven't quite felt that one out yet.
Yeah. Stay tuned and find out. So next steps are ultrasound when?
I don't know. First doctor's appointment, actually, it's a midwife appointment, is on the 22nd.
Okay. And
then I don't know when they want to do an ultrasound.
Okay. And then some point after that, an ultrasound, and then
light, please.
Light. You got it. Anything else we should know or think about your pregnancy, or if you're definitely doing things in many ways, you're staying more active, maybe a little bit more aerobically active, I believe. Although it was warm, you were hiking a bit, but you're not going to do any of the real heavy lifting, so to speak, during the first trimester.
Yeah, I'm just going to take it easy, and I'm not going to travel because that was really stressful for me. Yeah, I'm just going to, I mean, I relaxed the first time, but I'm going to take the relaxation to a whole new level.
Excellent. So we were given some advice earlier today that I really like, although it's not quite in the relaxation mode. There was a gentleman we met at the gym, well, we're friends with at the gym, who his wife had miscarried twice. And then for the third child she was pregnant with, I guess if you call it that, she had a mantra. And that mantra was, hang in there. You can do it. Hang in there.
Yeah.
Hold on.
And now she's like an amazing
world champion, the best in the world at skiing uphill.
So
she hangs in there.
Yeah, she actually she skied up Aspen Mountain the day before she gave birth.
Yeah.
And skiing uphill, I mean,
and she's winning world level, I don't know what you call it. I don't know if there's a World Cup level races while breastfeeding right now. It's pretty badass. Don't know how else to call that. So
I won't be doing that.
No, that's not your style. You might be sprinting and kicking my butt on a trail maybe, although one of us would be carrying baby, so I'm not sure how that would work.
Yeah. Or if they're twins, then maybe we're both carrying babies.
All right. That'll be interesting.
I was wondering if we should answer some of the questions that are popping up.
Let's answer some of the questions that are coming up, and then we can dive into a little bit more on positivity. But let's roll with this. Go for it. Do you want me to try to go through here?
Well, somebody just asked, will the new Hana have the same middle name?
That is an excellent question.
Lori, yeah. So the different incarnations of Hana have different middle names. Well, if she's a girl, I still like that middle name a lot.
Well, so we had met with
but we were gonna add
Glynis.
We were gonna modify it anyway.
We were.
Yeah, we met with the numerology lady, the numbers lady.
Yeah.
And she said that our spelling of Hana Mandala Sandler wasn't going to produce the best compatible numbers for us.
Yes.
So we were trying to come up with ways to modify her spelling or modify the name so that we were more compatible.
And so we will go back to Glynis when the time is right. Once we have, my guess is some ultrasound confirmation of stuff, we'll go back and ask for assistance with like a second middle name or something like that. That she wasn't given the first time around, but we had planned on.
But then we talked to Paul Selig, who's also been on the show. He channels spirit guides.
And we get to let him know you're pregnant too.
Yeah. And so he was channeling the baby spirit. And you had asked about numerology.
Well, if I back up before that, Paul said something fascinating. He said, I've never spoken to somebody this early in pregnancy. And he goes, I can't tell if Hana is actually in there or not. And you were miscarrying or had just miscarried and didn't even know it yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I found that fascinating.
Because we spoke to Paul Selig the day before I technically, before the
Rejection.
Whatever. Yeah. Really, the miscarriage happened before. It just takes time for everything to
process.
Yeah, leave the body.
Yeah. So I asked him a question about names. And what did he say?
On numerology.
Yes.
And he said, what I'm getting is like an eye roll.
Which either could mean it's not important, or boy, do we have an interesting one coming in. Or both.
I thought it was the former, that it wasn't really that important.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's take one or two more questions. Let me dive into a little bit more on positivity here. What else do we have? Hope you won't mind a baby boy. Oh, no. Well, I do intention work each day on baby. So each day I have been through this entire process writing about happy, healthy, sleep through the night, amazing, peaceful, bring more peace to our lives, kind, gentle, compassionate, easy to care for baby Hana. And I write about it each and every day. And then I say for our highest good, the highest good of all, or something better. So baby Hana could be baby Bam Bam, could be baby whatever, and we would be perfectly happy.
Okay, so Bam Bam was the first love of my life. Who was it? Japanese bobtail kitty cat.
Yeah, who had a Japanese bobtail, I guess, has the largest vocabulary of any cat. They were the cat of the Japanese emperors. And extremely intelligent, extremely affectionate.
The inspiration for Hello Kitty and for those
good luck charmy things at store entrances and solar thingies. And he was not cat-like at all. He was a human in cat form. And when he passed away, I think we heard very strongly inside and outside that he would be back. And we see no reason he couldn't be back as a baby boy. So who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows who's kicking on inside there? Jessica, you were starting to talk about your current routine. You said you wake up at 3 a.m. and then.
Oh, no, I'm not actually waking up at 3 a.m. I think the earliest is about 3:30. So the first thing I do at the moment is a Dr. Joe meditation. That's an hour and a half. And then afterwards, I do Marissa Peer self-hypnosis, which is called Perfect Pregnancy. And Marissa Peer was on the show a couple weeks ago. I actually haven't listened to the show yet. Can you talk a little bit about the show?
Well, the general premise, to put it in a sentence or two, is how 90% of what's going on inside of us is dictated by the subconscious. The conscious mind is very little of that. And so if we can reprogram the subconscious, everything else goes well. And all of our limiting beliefs, all of our limiting blocks, all are blown out of the water. Now, the core wounding that she believes we almost all struggle with, which is really what we need to get at with the subconscious, is I am not enough. In essence, I'm not worthy. I'm an imposter. I don't deserve to be here. Here's a whole list of what's wrong with me. I am not enough. And so her message, path, her mission is to help people understand, not on a conscious level that they're enough, but help them rewrite the subconscious so that they know, so that we know we are enough. So our inner child can heal. It's a lot of that work that I've been doing lately on healing that little Michael inside to let him know. I wasn't using her language of I am enough, but to let him know everything is all right. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. For instance, when we had the car slide into the snow earlier this week, I wasn't in a good enough place to do that in the moment, but I did when I came back, because my little boy is going, am I okay? And that's the work that she's doing. If you can heal that inside of you and know that you're enough and know that you're okay, you can climb mountains and beyond. So cool. So that's Marissa.
So yeah, we have that program as well, but I haven't started using it because I'm just focused on the pregnancy hypnosis.
Meaning you have the I am enough self-hypnosis program as well.
Right. Yeah. And the reason why I'm listening to this perfect pregnancy hypnosis is because there was and still is maybe a little bit fear of having another miscarriage. And so this hypnosis is changing my mindset. And she talks about how your mindset can actually affect the outcome of everything.
Yeah.
Even a pregnancy.
Makes complete and total sense. But I'm going to go back and do some protection work here. It doesn't mean that if you had a miscarriage, it's because of your mindset.
Well, there's so many factors going on. And your mindset is just one factor.
Yeah. So I'm looking at a pickup truck coming up the road. I think it's FedEx, so we can just continue along here. They're brave.
Yeah. Brave because the driveway is covered in snow. And it's a little bit like a roller coaster ride going down.
It is, but a fun one. Anything else that you wanted to share?
Yeah. So after the hypnosis, I will attempt to do practice heart coherence. And I'm not always successful because for some reason in the wintertime, when I'm breathing slowly in and out through my nose, I end up sneezing. I have a hard time staying heart coherence when I'm sneezing constantly.
So heart coherence, there's actually a device you can get from HeartMath. We might be able to put a link on here later that goes to your earlobe, and it measures the change in your heartbeat between beats. It's really sophisticated, and it helps you by measuring this. You can get into a state, basically your heart puts out a bigger magnetic signal than the brain, for lack of another term. Mm-hmm. When you get in sync with your heart, when the breathing and breath come into sync as one, it calms the mind, it calms the nervous system, it calms everything. And it has a lasting effect throughout the day. Your resting heart rate goes down, your resilience goes down, your patience goes up. And so you focus on breathing basically in and out through the heart is the most basic way, and timing it. So if you are trying to breathe in and out through the heart and you're sneezing, you are completely and totally out of heart coherence. Now, this morning was my second worst heart coherence in 6 months. I was just cold. I couldn't get warm this morning. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't allowing my body to relax. So, okay. So you get your heart coherence. What's next after that?
Some sort of journaling. It might be automatic writing, mm-hmm. or it might just be thinking about what my single-minded purpose is for the day, or some big picture planning or mind mapping, something fun. It's whatever I'm inspired to do.
Do you do a lot of intention work right
now? Well, I think when I'm doing the big picture mind mapping, that is like intention work. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you're doing dreaming, visualization work, imagining a future, imagining what is possible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be honest, right now, most of my intention work is just centered around the baby. So I'm baby brained.
I've never heard that term, but it makes perfect sense. And I put baby on the brain. Even before the miscarriage, I was writing to her almost every day. After the miscarriage, I went to, honestly, I took 2 or 3 weeks off. I needed just a little downtime.
Yeah.
And then I went back to manifestation work on her daily. So even when you thought, you're not wanting this baby again right away, I'm like writing furiously for baby every single day. You got to be careful when someone, they get it. The emotional roller coaster of pregnant, not pregnant, then wanting to be pregnant again.
Yeah.
You just don't mess with the roller coaster.
Oh, my roller coaster.
Yes.
Oh.
Don't mess with the roller coaster.
Yeah. I mean, I think you should have known that I was pregnant because I had some really crazy outbursts.
I did take note of this. Very, very strongly. So, okay, you finish your intention, non-intention, journaling, non-journaling, automatic, non-automatic writing. What do you do next?
I drink the smoothie you brought upstairs for me.
Very, very good. Very, very good.
And then I take my supplements, and then we're off to the gym.
Very, very good. I like it.
I feed the kitties too.
You feed the kitties. We had a really quick question I'm going to get to, and then let's dive more positivity, which is smoothie at the moment. What is in that smoothie? And that smoothie has in it kale. It has in it spinach. It has in it frozen cranberries, frozen blueberries, frozen apples, not frozen apples, frozen bananas, frozen pineapple, frozen mango. It has in it strawberries and blackberries. And I think I mentioned the frozen cranberries. Then it has in it
fresh apples,
fresh oranges. We're talking all organic here. Then we go to hemp seeds, chia seeds, though we've pretty much run out.
I ordered more.
Excellent. Thank you. Chia seeds, flaxseed, which is actually in a powder at the moment, spirulina powder. seems like we're light on a few ingredients, but that's, I think, about it. I pulled out a lot of stuff this fall during pregnancy dry run number 1.
When things started making me nauseous.
Whatever made you nauseous, I would yank out.
I didn't like the ashwagandha. What else was I didn't
Maca.
like? I didn't like maca, and even the prenatal protein powder we had to take out.
So, but there's a lot of protein in this, and there's still quite a bit of hemp seeds going in there. The hemp, chia, and flaxseed all help balance your omegas for a healthy baby brain. And I don't do cold water. I actually get it just above room temperature, so it's easier to digest and it doesn't shock the system.
Right. And so it doesn't freeze me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Question just came in that I figure we're going to answer because we've been talking about this a lot, not so much about ourselves, but because of an email that came in earlier, we were talking about it again, which is, are you vegan?
Oh, I am not vegan. I am a flexible vegetarian.
I like that. I mean, I like that description. And I am vegan-ish. I am extreme vegan tendencies without being extreme. So if she throws in a little bit of ghee or a little bit of something, I typically don't eat any passed away animal products. Is maybe a good way to put it.
Well, occasionally your body asks for like an egg.
Yeah. And I'll muscle test, and if I get it, I'm totally okay with that. I go with the most expensive, free-range pasture baby. They read them bedtime stories, eggs or chickens with eggs.
Well, yeah, and in the summertime, we buy locally, like just down the road.
Yeah. So, but I want to be very, 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 very clear. No judgment on anyone for anything.
Well, I believe everybody's body is different, and
it is.
Everybody has different needs.
And I remember when I was healing from NDE number 2, I have all these broken bones, all this stuff going on, and I'm feeding the kitties, and you can't have a vegan kitty cat, and I'm wanting the fish that I was giving them, or the red meat, or the deer that I was giving them, which is just crazy to me because I love our deer so, 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 so much. But there's maybe a time and a place for everything.
And I've admitted that if my body starts craving meat during the pregnancy, I'm going to have meat.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't come to that because I don't want to kill more animals than is necessary.
Yeah.
But
stay tuned and find out. Yeah. So, all right. Are there a few more questions you want me to address, or?
Can green smoothies prevent morning sickness? It depends on what's in your green smoothie. No, I don't believe they can. It just depends on what's in your green smoothies and what else you're eating.
So I was never looking at a morning smoothie as something to prevent morning sickness. I was looking at it as, how can we top off your tank with nutrition? Yeah. How can we get as much nutritional goodness in you, as much complete vitamins, minerals, nutrients, phytonutrients, and everything is possible first thing in the day, first off, because that reboots the system when it comes back online each morning. It's the reason it's called break the fast. So when things come back online, give it all that crazy, amazing goodness. And then if you're not feeling well later in the day, at least you got that in. That's how I'm looking at it. Yeah. So what was the term from Chris? Was it Chris Ward? Chris Beat Cancer. He said, how can you overdose, or that you want to try to overdose on nutrition? And I couldn't agree with it more. And that's in a sense what we're trying to do. How much nutritional goodness can we get in, Jessica? And that actually brings us full circle to staying positive, which is you look for the high vibration foods to help you feel better, and really does affect your emotional state. Oh, go for it.
Yeah. So the evening of the miscarriage, I did go for comfort food that one evening. So I had mac and cheese.
Food karma. I'm going to address that in a second. So go on your admission. I haven't heard this before.
No, we went to Whole Foods and you're really supportive.
The night of the miscarriage?
Yeah.
I thought the miscarriage may have happened in New Jersey.
The night that we ended up at the hospital.
Okay.
After the hospital, we went to Whole Foods, and I had the mac and cheese that I had been abstaining from since I had gotten pregnant.
Yeah, and I think that's awesome. I absolutely think.
But then after that, there was no comfort fooding.
Yeah. So, and food karma is you crave where you're at energetically. And you may have been at a little bit of a low. And I wanted to give you just whatever made you feel good. I don't know if it did or not, but I wanted to give you whatever made you feel good.
It made me really happy, actually.
Good, good, good. So I was talking about physical, would we call it physical nutrition, food nutrition. And then there is also a matter of energetic nutrition, which is what movies we watch, what shows you watch, what news you watch or don't watch. Ingesting this can be very important. I think you've been really careful about watching this in the baby rounds too.
Yeah, so if you're like on your bicycle rollers watching a movie and
there was only one movie. It was Iron Man 2, and I couldn't watch the violent scenes, but I put it on pause so that it didn't bother you. And I went back today to try to check the ending out, because I do that. I'll watch the beginning of the movie and then the end, because I want to see the positive ending. I don't want to see any killing, any murder, any mayhem. And I went to go see the ending, and it's been yanked off Netflix.
Oh, that's funny. Anyway, whatever you watch on TV goes straight into your subconscious, and your subconscious, I don't remember which guest talked about this. Some positive psychology guest.
Yeah, it wasn't Tal, but it was another.
Sean Acor, or anyway, your subconscious doesn't recognize it. It can't tell that it's not real.
Yeah.
So I was like more flexible when I wasn't pregnant, but when I am pregnant and it's going into my subconscious, then I know that's also just going straight to
and I think there's something to do with the flicker rate too, which is, I think it's almost like what Evan Alexander says about his near-death experience, more real than real, because it's continuously flashing like 60 hertz. I think that's 60 times a second. Mm-hmm. I may get the hertz and stuff wrong, but I believe it's 60 cycles a second.
Yes.
That flashing burns right into your subconscious.
So are we burning into their subconscious right now?
I am hoping we are. And we are having a very positive subliminal effect on you.
You are enough.
You are great.
You are loved.
You are loved. You are loved. You are the most positive person in the world. You are the greatest person in the world. You are loved. You are loved. You are loved. Woohoo! All right. I guess we're really in the question segment, unless there's other positive tools that you want to mention to people, and I can scan through and see if there's one or two more. Go for it.
Positive tools. It's a challenge just pausing in the day and being present in the moment, because even though we've got help on board now, we're still getting workflows in place. I am still constantly behind on my work. And so it's easy for me to just keep working, or doing, in order to try not. I've let go of catching up on my own anyway. With help, I can catch up. But to not fall further behind, I'm constantly doing. And I really have to make an effort to like just pause and be even present with the kitty cats. And like I'll spoon feed Lumi, who, if you were here at the beginning of the video, he was on this table here. And
keep going.
When I'm home, Lumi requires that I spoon feed him. Otherwise, he doesn't eat. If I go on a trip, somehow he finds a way to feed himself. But I indulge him because that's my way of being present with him. I have to be present if I'm going to be like, this isn't Lumi, this is Meowsers, but we're going to use him as a prop. If I have to like do this and hold the spoon in front of Lumi and wait for him to eat, and he's a slow eater. It takes a while for him to clean off that spoon. I am very present. So I could get annoyed or frustrated that I have to spoon feed him, but I just look at it as a way to be more present with him.
And I think you get to, it's always hard for me because, well, it's just not fair. We just get to support you in throttling back, period. and you have to throttle back. I mean, I was very supportive first semester. Ha.
Yes, they are kind of like semesters.
They are. I was very supportive. I'm yours. First trimester and having you back off anytime you needed. And I think it has to be that way again this time, if not more so. And when Lumi needs attention or Meowsers needs attention, oh, thank you, good boy. I think you just gave me a kiss. When Meowsers needs attention, it's really an opportunity, the universe, for us to pause and say, whatever it is we want to get done. Like I came downstairs to do my meditation this morning, and there was Lumi. And so instead of going to my meditation, I went and burrowed my head right into his belly and turned him into a purr machine for a little bit first.
Yeah.
Beneficial for him, beneficial for me. So it is so important that you take this time for yourself. Is there one or two more questions here? And then we'll wrap things up. Yes, I do have Sir Meowsers here this evening. I can't actually scroll through my list here, but there may be a question or two.
Somebody asked, how do you get on the show?
Ooh, gentle. I've got a hook in my... Oh, there we go. I know. Whoop. All right. Well, I can go through real fast here. Mantras, evening mantras. This is one of my favorite things. And we had just a wild, crazy evening 2 nights ago where it sounded like the roof was going to get blown off. And I got almost no sleep at all. And I'm honestly, everybody, I'm a baby when it comes to sleep. I'm a little bit cranky in the evening when I want to get my sleep. And if I wake up without enough sleep, it takes a little bit of time for me to reboot. But I went to bed that evening saying, I will thank you for waking, rested and refreshed. Thank you for my waking, resting and refreshed. Thank you for my waking, resting and refreshed. And I don't know when I actually fell asleep. I think at one point I held your arm as the roof was just fluttering. And were you a little concerned about the roof at that point?
No, I wasn't concerned about the roof. I was concerned about like other things that might be outside the house.
Flying.
Yeah.
So I fell asleep and I woke up and I felt rested and refreshed. You can reprogram your mind for positivity, for overcoming whatever challenge you've got going on, in a sense, at least in the mind, by repeating mantras to yourself as you go to sleep. Because during the day, affirmations and mantras, they stay in the conscious part of the mind. They don't go very deep. But in the evening, they can cross the liminal barrier. They can cross basically as above, so below, or basically get you in the hypnagogic state where you're really communicating directly with the subconscious. And so messages you put in there can be incredibly powerful in helping shift your mental state for the day ahead, for the week ahead. Last note on this, and then I'm going to see if there's one more question Jessica wants me to answer, which is set intention daily. If your intention is to be more positive, if your intention is to find the positive, or to find the reason that this took place, and I strongly encourage you to lean into any discomfort rather than push it away. You have to face this. But if that is your intention, then you may not have a perfect day. You may have a terrible day. I'll put that in quotes, but it will probably be a lot better than if you hadn't set intention. The more intentionally you live life, the more awake, aware, and the more that you are at the wheel, so to speak, of your life. It doesn't mean universe isn't in charge. We're never really in charge. But the more you do take charge of what you can and set intention for the day ahead, the better you will feel and the more empowered you will feel as well. So is there one last question?
Yeah. Oh, where did it go? Scrolling. It was a question. Okay. Bashar writes, I think I can't rely on law of attraction because I'm quite scared of it when it happens to me, to be honest. Any thoughts on how to be positive about that? So I'm not quite sure where you're going, Bashar. It is very, very powerful. I will say this. I believe in a benevolent law of attraction. I think that
Law of attraction is absolutely energy related. And the more, to me, positive energy you bring to it, the better. I've heard somebody say that it's almost like an 8-2 or a 9-1, which is the positive is so much more powerful than the negative, that if you have a negative thought and you worry, oh my God, law of attraction, it's going to smite me. Well, one positive thought will take care of like 9 negative thoughts. And I happen to believe that. So I'm not a big fan. I don't think you have to worry. Law of attraction is so powerful, it may bring up negative results in my life. And I don't think you have to worry about law of attraction is so powerful, I may get things that I don't want or get things too soon. I recommend throwing a prayer in there of asking for anything that you want for your highest good, for the highest good of all, or something better. Always ask for the or something better. That leaves that positive opportunity. But I think it's a really Western concept that any of the tools that is here to help us, to manifest, to bring into our lives, to turn energy into matter, as we're all capable of doing. It's too easy in this Western society to then pick on ourselves with the positive tools. So I wouldn't worry about that at all. I would dive into the positive aspect with everything that you've got, and know that if your car ends up in the snow, if whatever happens, it's not because you did X, Y, or Z. It's a learning on your path. At the moment, you can be like me, hopping up and down, but it's still just a learning on your path. So you love yourself up and love yourself up more and go, I have no idea why this took place for me. Because the universe isn't happening to you. This didn't happen to you. Everything happens for you and through you for your highest good. You can step back and go, wow, that really sucked. That really hurt. What can I learn from this? How can I gain from this experience? What's the most positive, loving thing I can do for myself at this time? I'm not picking on myself for any thoughts or anything I had, but what can I learn to make life even better moving forward? So Dane here has an amazing mantra that I really like and often steal, which is, how does it get any better than this? And I say that all the time, whether something's positive or even negative. How does it get any better than this? And I had been practicing a mantra the morning that I ended up sinking our car in the snow. Mm-hmm. And that mantra is, it makes me laugh when I say the acronym, although the acronym doesn't mean anything to anybody else. It's LIRD. I can't help but laugh. LIRD. Life is really good, or life is ridiculously good. I put the car in the snow. Life is really good. I get home. I'm licking my wounds. Life is really good. I go to the gym and I lifted an obscene amount of weight with my legs, which I will share with people after I do this a few more times, because I'm actually blown away that how well my knees are doing. Life is really good. You keep repeating some mantra like that to yourself when anything or everything happens, or as soon as you can catch yourself afterwards, and life becomes really good. Any last words of wisdom you want to share? And then I want to mention the survey one more time to people.
Words of wisdom.
You're hungry.
I am hungry. How did you know?
The words of wisdom came from your belly.
Did you hear it?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't. Okay. Yeah, I'm gentle on myself. In the past I would have beat up on myself if my mind went blank, because that to me is like the most horrifying, embarrassing thing that could possibly happen on live video. But now it's just like,
it's all good.
Why beat up on yourself? Doesn't help anyone.
No. And that's one that my inner child gets to work on too, because it has this assumption inside of it from childhood, which is, if I beat up on myself first, maybe my mom won't beat up on me as much, or maybe the bullies won't beat up on me as much. Mm-hmm. So that actually came up in my emotion code today. A bunch of the bullying, and I hadn't even remembered. I mean, I hadn't blocked it, but just being as kind and loving and gentle as you can on yourself. So please, If you haven't taken our survey yet, come on over to inspirenationshow.com. Take the survey. It'll only take a couple minutes. It helps us bring you the content that you want. We want to know, what do you want, so that we can give it to you. We are your servant leaders. We are here to help you in every way that we can, humbly so. So you tell us what you want, who you want, anything that you want, and we're going to do our best to give it to you. So come on over to inspirenationshow.com. With that said, I'm hesitant to say it because what you bring about, you think about. We can only accommodate 2 or 3 free one-on-one strategy sessions, coaching strategy sessions a week for people who are interested in getting paid coaching. Those are free sessions if you're interested in paid coaching. We're getting quite backed up on that, and our coaching is backed up till mid-April, and I'm guessing within a few days, probably May or later. So if you're really, really, really interested in coaching, my recommendation is get one of those free spots, which are back out many weeks now. And if you get in a spot, we may even have to move you further back. I don't have clones yet, but I would be honored to help you in any way I can.
Well, we are planning on having more group coaching in the future and opening it to a wider audience or a bigger virtual classroom, and lowering the price significantly.
Yeah, I envision literally having, it's burned in my mind, by the end of this year, 1,000-person class. I don't know how we can do it yet. I don't have to know how.
And it would be different from this because you would have your own video and audio feed, so we could actually see and hear you.
Yeah, so you could speak before everybody, no pressure. But that should be really cool. And then really, 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 really quickly, do you want to speak about the vault?
Yes. So on our survey, we've gotten a lot of responses that are asking for guided meditations. So we're going to start recording those shortly. And I might even record some too, because
oh, goody. You have a better voice than me. It's very, very soothing.
I feel like I should get hypnosis training or certification, and
that'd be awesome,
and put people to sleep.
In a kind and loving way.
So the vault is going to include guided meditations on all sorts of different.
So it'll have guided meditations on all different topics. It'll have our programs in it as well. It'll have additional content that we'll just keep adding. And that'll be a real minimum monthly payment to be able to access all that. And on that note, might as well add, if you want to support the show, we would love your support. We are 100% supported by you, our audience. So if you come on over to patreon.com, patreon.com/Inspire Nation, you become a member of the Inspire Nation family. With just a small monthly donation, you get lots of free videos. You get behind-the-scenes access. I've been posting daily right now since we found out that we're pregnant, and sharing words of wisdom and photos of Jessica and myself and some fun videos and stuff like that. So you get all this content for a very small price, which is supporting us to give you this, helping us to help you. With that said, Jessica, can we wind things up? I've got a coaching session in, it looks like 2 minutes. Can we do 10 woohoos? Okay. I've got you on the mic here.
Okay.
Everybody ready?
I wish I could hear them.
I wish I could hear everybody here too. I so wish I could. And that when we get our group, large group class going, we will be able to hear. Can you imagine 1,000 people woohooing at the same time? Music to my ears.
Technically, I think you can only hear one person at a time.
Oh, Jesus. All right. No, Zoom, we've been able to hear the whole group.
Yeah, you hear like the start of somebody's woo, and then a ooh and a whoo.
Well, it's sort of like if you listen to any comedic track, Seinfeld, whomever, there's always like a cackler. There's one voice that stands out above the rest is laughing. And then if you hear them, you're stuck hearing them.
Yeah.
Anyway.
They're starting to woohoo without it.
All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Woohoo! 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 5 more. Woohoo! Woohoo! 3 more. Woohoo! Woohoo! 1 more. Woohoo! Bonus.
Oh. Yay.
We love you guys.
Janice and L Harbor.
We woohoo to everyone. All right, I've got 30 seconds to go, Coach. So send you all our love. Please come on over, take that survey, support us on Patreon, sign up for a free one-on-one if you're interested in paid coaching, and we will do everything we can to provide you with everything we can. Above and beyond all else, not only do we send us all your love, all our love, shine bright.
Woohoo! Thank you. Good night.